Good evening there. It's about 6:30, 20 to 7 as I speak to you now. One of you is off to Exeter on Friday, and you asked me to take a quick look, or take a look at the card and see if I have any thoughts, which I'm always happy to do. There are a few qualifiers in today's Friday's members post for Exeter, as you can see there. And they might be of some use. I've yet to have a look at them and see if they've got three legs or got any chance whatsoever. So we'll have a look at some point, probably Friday morning. But the purpose of this video is to run through the Exeter card using the horse race base. Firstly, for any horse race base users, I have no idea what Chris and his excellent team have done to the formatting. It's a kind of new site. Not much has changed from what I can see, bar the fact it's stretched out and is a bit useless visually and in terms of functionality. I haven't yet worked out what they've changed in terms of behind the scenes and functionality in terms of system building software and race cards and everything else. All of these such things look pretty similar, but anyway, that's not a concern for you at this moment in time. So yes, the last time I did one of these, well, the three times I've kind of used the track trainer pointers within the horse race based race cards have been quite successful. They did highlight when I went through at, was it Southall or Lingfield? I forget which card, when I last had a look. I found the Gavin Sheehan, Jamie Snowden novice hurdle winner. I think he was 16 to 1. In any case, his SP was 10 to 1. So there is some validity in using this as starting points. So if you don't have horse race base, obviously you can do this yourself, and there's probably no point in watching the video. If you do have horse race base, that is. If you don't have horse race base, this video, the idea is for you to kind of watch it with a notepad, I suppose, and to note down anything that you think of is of interest. Time allowing Friday morning, I may have a closer look at the card, although there are a few qualifiers to get through in section 1 to see if I want to tip any or kind of make my own judgment. And there is the 3 mile 6 furlong handicap chase at Exeter as well, which I wouldn't mind having a good look at, but that's for Friday morning. So for now, let's start with the 12:30. At Exeter, race 1, it's soft, it's going to be testing, no doubt. The race card is there. I've organised that actually in terms of the horse race base ratings, which you might find of some use. Of course, with a novice handicap hurdle, most of these will be lightly enough race, but they might be fairly moderate as well. So yes, you can absorb that ratings information there. I want to have a look at the trainer, and I'm doing this live. I haven't as yet been through the Exeter cards doing this just to save some time, really. So you can see the kind of trainers the last 730 days, all runners and their record at the track. Tim Vaughan in the last 730 days is 0 from 25 here, and I think Timely Gift is 13 to 8, which might be a good enough reason as any to kind of take him on. And you can absorb them, of course, when you're looking at stats at this top level. They may include plenty of non-handicappers who may have been there to get a run, to get experience and whatever. So I want to look at handicap hurdles, see if anyone jumps out. What am I doing? I'm clicking that box there, and hopefully you can see in front of you there those trainer stats. Yeah, Tim Vaughan yet to, well, as you can see there, the stats last 730 days. Jeremy Scott hasn't got too bad a record. Evan Williams is interesting, 5 from 12, 7 places, plus 22 points. We can see the jockey stats, and that's today's jockey. That will be with all trainer jockeys in handicap hurdles the last 730 days. So Evan Williams, whoever is on Virginia Chick, is only 4 from 54, but the places are okay. Who else? Like I said, multiple winners are kind of a good sign. You've got Bishop's only got 1. Chris Downs had a couple. Frost is only 1 from 27. Mark Gillard 1 from 12, 3 places. So maybe the Evan Williams horse might be of interest. But again, you can pause this video at this point if you wish and note down any of those pointers there. Let's flick through to the next one. Again, you can see the race card here. It's the National Hunt Novices Hurdle Horse Race Base ratings. Not too kind of important because some of these will be very unexposed. Some of them will be quite lightly raced. In general, in these race types, I wouldn't touch them unless I've kind of got a stats qualifier like that Tom Lacey horse the other day. But I wouldn't normally touch them at home. But if you're going racing, of course, you want to have a little dabble. And as such, the market is usually a decent guide in novice hurdles, as we know. And in general, you want to be focusing, if there are any represented, on the big yards who most of the time have the best horses and are able to judge the quality of what they've got against other stars in their own stable. So what have we got here? It's a non-handicap hurdle. At the track, we can see Mr. Nichols has a decent record there. You wouldn't have got very rich backing them all at starting price, -6 points. That's no surprise. Many of them are quite short. Many of these will be out for a run. Of interest is Victor Dartnell. He's got quite a decent record here in non-handicap hurdles, 3 from 13 7 runners. And some other multiple winners include Tizard and Pipe. So no surprise there that some of the bigger yards that do have some of the best horses are represented and have targeted this place to quite success. So I suppose your eyes would be drawn to any Nichols runner. Victor Dartnell's is worth a look. Mr. Tizard and David Pipe also. And having mentioned there may be something else will win, but given the size of those yards, you'd be mildly surprised if that was the case. So that's the 1 o'clock extra. I'm not going to spend any more time on that for now. What have we got next? Handicap hurdle. Again, you can kind of absorb those horse race base ratings. There's kind of 4 that have a kind of rating of 160 plus, and there's quite a gap then back to the 5th. So maybe the winner is coming from these top 4 here. Again, if we look at the trainer and the track, what are we? We're a handicap hurdle again. Who have we got? Tizard's got 3 winners, not prolific, but decent enough. Down again, David Pipe is only 4 from 30. Evan Williams again, 5 from 12, 7 places might be of interest. David Dennis has had 1. The likes of Wolford and Dartnell, they haven't had many runners, but well, Robert Wolford's had a couple of places in handicap hurdles in the last 30 days. And both his in this are qualifiers against my stats pack for all his handicappers here. So that might be of some interest. Again, you can look at the today's jockey down the right hand side and absorb any of that you wish. If I skip through to the 205, not many runners. What are we going to say to this one? A trainer again, handicap chase. This might be more useful when I get to have a look at the pace maps or whatever, if I get a chance to flick through using Gigi's Gold. But again, you can see there the records. Williams does well here. Tizard okay, and Alan King not too bad from limited runners also. But in fairness of all, and the other 2 trainers haven't really set many runners here in handicap chases. So yeah, absorb that, do with that as you please in terms of starting points. The 240 and novices chase. No surprise there that Modus is 4 to 6 on. West Approach 13 to 8. You'd be surprised if either of the other 2 was good enough. And I'm not sure those are prices I would want to be diving in at, even if I was at the track. Probably time to go to the bar. What have we got here? Nichols, non-handicaps. You can see the record there. And Tizard. So yeah, that's that. I'm moving on swiftly. This massive... how many runners are in this? 17 runners, 3 miles, 6 furlongs. This will take some getting. One of the ultimate puzzles, and I'll try and solve it, but probably fail spectacularly. But I'll attempt that in the morning when the head is a bit fresh. My head and my brain is pretty much done for the day. What are we looking at here? Yes, again, the horse race base ratings was actually for handicap chasers, kind of class 3 or above. Horse race base is quite a good guide, kind of 50%, 55% are won by those that are kind of top 3, top 4 in the ratings. And that's always a useful pointer of sorts. So that's that. The trainer. We want to look at handicaps and we want to look at handicap chases. The last 30 days again, we can look down there. Barton Gift, that win might be him himself. Might be that horse, is that stat. Pipe, Wolford, we know, decent enough. Venetia Williams. I mean, there's quite a few in here that have good records. Sue Gardner, I mean, a few of these qualify against the stats pack and are in the members post section 1. Ian Williams, Jamie Snowden, Fergal's had a winner here. Those that haven't had winners haven't exactly had many runners, but have had placed horses. So actually in this race, there isn't too much to go on. It might be worth noting the John Joseph Hanlon runners. I'm not quite sure how many he's bought over from Ireland, but they might be worth a second glance. I can't think he's making the trip for no reason. But as yet, and as I speak, I've yet to see what his record is when he brings horses over the water. And that might be an angle in or something you want to look at and think about. Then we get on to the 4:30, 3:35, 3:45 even, excuse me, which is the last race of the day, a standard National Hunt flat race. Excuse me a moment. If you're at the racetrack, it's always quite fun to go to the paddock anyway and test your paddock eye, but there might be something which catches your eye in the bumper that really does stand out, and that's always a bit of fun, and it's worth testing and challenging yourself to see if you can pick a horse without knowing the odds, going to see what price they are and throwing a couple of quid only there at them just for a bit of fun, although that might just be me, but I quite enjoy that challenge. What else we got? Right, yes, National Hunt Flat, 7:30 days. I'm ticking around to 11 minutes. Harry Fry's had a winner here. Again, the big yards are represented, no shock there. David Pipe has got 2 in this. He's had a winner. Not many others have kind of had runners here. Might be interesting enough. Ian Williams has his first runner here. Looking at their records in National Hunt Flat races in more general, which is to the left, I think. Yeah, that will be all National Hunt Flat races the last 7:30 days. You might want to use that as a guide. Harry Fry, Paul Nicholls, no shock there. Pipes only had 4 from 48 National Hunt Flat winners, 4 from 48 runners in the last 7:30 days. That's of some interest. Mullins has had 3 from 58, and I think 2 or 3 of those, or all of them, have probably been at Lingfield on the all-weather. What else? That's it. Fergal O'Brien is represented, and that might be of use. 53 points to SP if you'd have backed all of his National Hunt Flat runners in the last 730 days. Not bad at all, although at some point the market will cotton on, no doubt. So yeah, that's that. That's the purpose of this video, is to kind of give you some ideas, some pointers for you to be able to make a short list of horses as starting points, simply based on the trainer behavior and all those rating sets. So if you well, yeah, if you're going racing, hopefully that's useful. I will try and apply some of that to the GG's race cards and have a look at the horses in more depth, or flick through that, but that is highly likely, or no, it will be Friday morning. It best be an early start, because Saturday is crammed as well, and tomorrow, Friday, will be busy on many fronts, which is always the way I like it. So that's that. Yeah, hopefully you found out some interest. Enjoy the rest of your Friday evening. I'm going to cook some food, catch up with Peaky Blinders, which I missed last night because I was in the pub watching Liverpool demolish the Russians, which was good fun. And yeah, that'll be my evening, not that you care. But yeah, whatever you're doing, enjoy the rest of your evening, or if you're watching this Friday morning, then enjoy the rest of your Friday. And this is Josh saying bye for now.